Tracy and the Big D here on a Wednesday night right through until 10 o'clock. I hope you can stick around. Well, I've just been watching a documentary on what happens when a businessman tries to go and do business in Charters Towers in a laid-back country. No, I wasn't. I was watching Tony Cook's latest single, and he joins us to discuss it now. Tony, you guys seem to know what to do when someone wants to get not so laid back in Charters Towers.
That's correct. G'day, Tracy and the Big D. It's good to talk to you. No, that was a great intro. We try to make people get a bit more relaxed out here and introduce them to locals, and have some fun with them.
Now, people that are going to go on have a look at a bit of a film clip there and see what happens. You've got a couple of well-known politicians, Shane Knuth and, of course, the very divisive Bob Catter, as two great locals for you. How did that come about, Tony?
Shane and I actually just looked at producing a TV commercial to promote Charters Towers. That was quite a bit of a success for us, and I mentioned to him about the film clip and asked if I'd like Bob to join in. And I said, my oath, it'd be great to have you both on board, and Bob's got some great stories too. Whether you love him or you hate him, he is an icon, and I guess a lot of people out there find him a bit of a personality, and whether or not they agree with what he says, he does shoot from the hip. We do love him out here in the bushes. His heart's in the right place. He's been a good character for us in Charters Towers, and he's helped promote our little town. It's been great.
Well, it's been a little bit of a lesson for the Big D tonight, because I'm always one that, and I know times have changed where, we're not on cassettes anymore, that we've got to put our pencil in to rewind it when the cassette player's not working and that. But we are in a time now where we have CDs, we have iTunes, we have the film clips are a huge part of making music these days. And I'm always telling people, get on, have a look at the film clips. Well, today's the first day the Big D's seen this film clip. So anyone out there who's not watching film clips, you should be getting on and having a look and checking them all out.
As you say, Tracy, it's a massive part of releasing a song these days. It can help its success. We've been blessed, I think, to have two great characters, and Shane and Bob come on board and help us. It actually had quite a bit of a following on Facebook.
We're talking to Tony Cook. He's a Charters Towers local, and a couple of years ago there was a big event out in Charters Towers, and a whole bunch of caravanners were getting together there, and we got these messages coming through that all these caravanners were listening to Tracy and the Big D at this event in Charters Towers. That they'd all got together and they were streaming. Is that the right term?
Yeah, that's the term.
Streaming Tracy and the Big D on Sunshine FM on a Wednesday night, and I thought that was great. But one of the things we've learned over the years about Charters Towers is it's a very big country music community. Is that what got you hooked into country music, Tony?
I grew up out this way though as a young child. Charters Towers always scared me as a young person, but having grown up, joined the military and travelled the world, I got out 10 years ago and came back to Charters Towers. And if I had moved anywhere else, I'd be in doing music as a job today, because it's such a nurturing little town. Every second man and his dog walking down the street can play an instrument. And
you do have a few visitors come up that way. I noticed that you've done a little bit of work with James Blundell as well. How does that all come about?
He's a great guy. I worked with James last year in Rockhampton. We sort of go between the two places, and I said, James really knocked the crowd for 6 actually in Rocky a few months ago, and have you ever thought about putting him up there at the Dirt and Dust? And they started thought about it, and they went back to the committee and then toed and froed. James came to town, and we actually did a national TV show called the Off-Road Adventure Show, and we showcased Charters Towers with James on the way out to the Dirt and Dust. Great ambassador for country music and country rural communities. I'm very grateful to spend some time with James. It was good fun.
Well, Tony, you have got 1,000 stories that not only myself would love to sit down and have a listen to, but I'm sure our listeners would as well. So I'd love to get you back on and have another chat very soon. But just for the ones out there that are like Darren, who is not quite up to date with all the technology, for people who don't have your music, how can they get a hold of it?
Okay, Tracy, they can either log on to my website at tonycook.com.au, all the good online music stores at this stage of the single. We're looking at releasing the full album at Tamworth next year. Simon Johnson's producing the album. We're halfway through a lot of these great songs we're working on, and send me a message or via Facebook, which is linked on my website. You can download it at iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, you name it. It's out there. Just search out for Laid Back Country Tony Cook and you'll find it.
Too easy. You got that, Big D?
I've got all that, and I'm just going. I've written all this down on my pen and paper because I don't have an iPad. And I'm going to Gestetner them now and fax them out to everyone. So
I love your work. I love your work, Darren. You're awesome, mate. I don't care what Tracy says about you. I like you.
Oh, righto.
I'm going to come out and spend some time in a laid-back country. This is Tony Cook and Laid Back Country.
You can blame that on the laid back, kick back, relax, grab